Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because I've got a lovely, very close friend, Gurdeep, in my kitchen.
Hello. Hi.
And you know what? Gurdeep is an amazing cook. Really,
Not as
really
good as
lovely,
you.
really,
Not as
really
good as
lovely
you.
guy. But he has got the most awaited book finally coming out.
It's been a while coming. It has been a little while coming.
And I want to show you the beautiful cover. Look at that, mother tongue. I'm going to leave the link to the book, obviously, as always, in the description. You can check out Gurdeep's Instagram. But he's here to cook for us.
I am, and I'm using the Chetna mug, the prized Chetna mug. I get to be Chetna today.
What are you cooking?
We're going to cook two recipes from the book. So one is tahini malai chicken wings with crispy garlic.
Okay.
And then we're going to do some balti chole.
Okay, so the balti chole, if you want to watch, you'll have to come back to the channel. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button so you get a notification. But today we are making this lovely, oh my God, look at that. I'm so hungry. So the recipe says to get 10 chicken wings. I just want to inform you that I've got 20 because that's not...
Okay. We'll do double. Perfect. Because we're
That's
hungry.
10 is
Okay.
not enough, yeah. So let's get cooking.
Let's go.
So we're moving straight to the pan.
Straight to spices.
Right.
Straight to
what are you
spices.
up to?
So I'm going to start by taking green cardamom, and we're going to take about 15 of these, so quite a lot.
Wow.
What I'm going to do, that's about maybe one or two more. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bash them up, just to get those inner seeds out. Now you don't have to do this fully, because, lost a few, because we are going to whiz them up, but it just breaks them up a little bit. I'm going to put those in,
Okay.
and then I'm also going to put in a tablespoon of coriander seeds, and also a teaspoon of ajwain.
So ajwain is called...
Ajwain is called carom seeds. It's
Yeah.
one of my favourites. It's like one of my absolute favourites. Kind of like slightly anisey. We're just gonna very quickly let those fry off just a little bit. I'm gonna take them off the heat.
Okay.
And then the other thing I'm gonna add, now you add this last because they have a tendency to burn, is I'm gonna add a teaspoon of white sesame seeds. And I'm just gonna let those just brown off because what you're trying to do is release all those aromas from the spices.
Okay.
But you can smell the ajwain. It's like thyme, oregano, but like Indianified in like a really good way. Cool. So those are toasted off.
So we are still making the quantities are for 10 chicken wings.
We are making the quantity of turmeric
Yeah.
right now, but I'm going to double this up in a second.
Yeah. So I am using a pestle and mortar to grind this. But you guys can use like a coffee grinder, which is what Gurdeep you use.
That's what I use. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna grind it to quite a rough powder.
Yeah. Yeah. So all those toasted spices, I'm grinding them, and we're using a pestle and mortar. Now, if you're lazy, like I usually am, you would use a coffee grinder or a spice grinder, but actually using a pestle and mortar gets much more flavour. And the reason is, it's actually quite interesting. So when you use a grinder, you basically force the spices to sort of cut in the way that the grinder goes. But if you bash them like this, you actually break the seeds in the natural way that they want to be broken, and therefore they release more of their oils. So you get way more flavour, and you get a bit of a workout, which, you know.
Can I just say, it smells incredible. So that's looking like a really
Yeah, it's a really good
nice
powder.
powder.
About what you want. You don't want it too grainy because you still
No.
want a little bit of bite in there, but there you go.
Beautiful.
Now, we've got the dry spice mix, we're going to make the paste. So with the paste, we're going to use garlic. We've got about 8 cloves here. We've got
Yeah.
a good piece of ginger. That's like 2
Wow.
thumbs worth, so a lot of
Yeah.
ginger. We're going to use some green chilies. Now, we're going to use 2 because I think it's nice to have a bit of a kick. And remember, there's tahini in there and cream, which
Yeah.
is going to sort of mute that down a bit. So you want that to kind of come through. And then either lemon juice or lime juice. You can use either.
And then you're zesting it as well.
I'm zesting it well because I just want to get all of that flavour out of the lime or the lemon. So I'm just going to do that now.
So you have got the ginger, garlic, chili, lemon juice, and lemon zest.
Zest,
And then you've added some pepper.
black pepper,
How
and
much?
I put in a teaspoon.
Okay, and then?
And then I'm going to add some salt. So I've got about 1.5 teaspoons here. This is smoked salt. Now, the reason is because I love that smoky charred flavour, and actually I love tahini and smoked salt together. It's so good. If you can't find it, just use normal salt. But if you can find smoked salt, it's quite easy to find now in supermarkets. Okay. Add some turmeric for delicious earthiness and colour. Now, if you've got fresh turmeric, use that because it's got like a lovely gingery flavour. Yeah. White wine vinegar. So I'm going to add, these are sort of teaspoons, I guess. I'm probably going to add about 4 or 5 of these. You want it quite acidy because remember, there's going to be lots of cream and tahini going into this. Great. And now all we're going to do is whiz that up to a paste. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring everything together to make the spice paste, which is also the marinade. Isn't that a gorgeous colour? So this is the wet paste that we made. We've got the dry ingredients there. We're going to pep that up with a little bit of garam masala as well. This is actually my own mix from the book. But just use whatever one that you've got, or you can make a fresh batch as well. And then we're also going to add to that some tahini and then some double cream. So what's great about these two is that where you'll see when it goes into the oven, it's the tahini and the double cream that really chars up and kind of creates that kind of tahini tandoori style effect. So yeah, let's get these all into the bowl. Getting all of that out there. In the instructions, I just put it all into the same grinder. So it's fine, we can mix it like this. Okay. I'm just mumbling, don't mind me. Just.
What made you write this book?
What made me write this? Like an interesting question. I'm from a really foodie family, and I've always been interested in like the intersection of like food and identity and like how cuisines travel and like the idea of being British and Indian, because I'm Indian Punjabi but was born in Leicester. So I just wanted to write a book that kind of celebrated all of this, like the idea of being both British and Punjabi, which is what you are as well. It's this whole thing of, you know, telling the different stories and kind of honouring that tradition, but by putting my own story on it. So the title is like a little bit ironic because it's not actually my mum's story. It's my story, but then my mum's story is also my mum's story. So it's kind of this sort of, I don't link it all together. And also I just wanted an excuse to put loads and loads of flavours into recipes and go play with flavour, because actually you'll see that's a big thing for me, is actually mixing flavours from different cultures. So whether it's things like Indian masalas with things like tahini and just kind of seeing what it does. I'm like really into mixing flavours from different cultures, and hopefully these wings will be an example of that. And then some cream. So that's what, 5? Pretty bad.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
That's about 50 ml. And then add 4 tablespoons of tahini. Now some tahinis are really sort of liquidy, some can be quite, this is quite a sort of good liquidy and thingy one. So it says 4 tablespoons. I'm using a teaspoon, but I'm going to add probably about 5 of these.
Beautiful.
Maybe just a little bit more maybe. There you go. And then if it needs a bit more cream, we can add that in. I'm just going to whisk this all up.
I cannot wait.
It's like those marbling things that you used to do at school. So you've got everything in there. So that dry spice mix, bit of the garam masala, the tahini, the cream, salt. It's really lemony. And you know what? If you don't want to make chicken, if you're vegetarian, this is a really great paste for things like paneer, tofu. You can even do it on things like mushrooms and make like tahini mushroom burgers. It's a really great paste for all sorts of stuff. And actually, if you water this down with just some water or maybe more double cream, it actually makes a really good dip as well. Ooh. Very punchy, but a good one. Now, you've got some lovely chicken wings here, whole wings. You could use thighs. I mean, I wouldn't use breast because you really do want the bone. And what we're gonna do is, with each of these, we're just gonna slash them a little bit, just like that. You just wanna break the skin, basically. Okay. Just 1 or 2 on each one, because then what you do is you're going to get that flavour much deeper kind of into the core. So try and find sort of the most fleshy bits. Yeah. There you go, that's plenty. Like 2 or 3, depends on what wings you've got, and then we're going to just leave them there. And then what we're going to do, when these are all slashed, we are going to smother them in the marinade, and then leave them in the fridge for, I say, at least 3 or 4 hours if you want to get the most, but actually overnight.
Well, I'm sorry.
We don't have 3 or 4 hours because we are impatient, and but 3 or 4 hours if you can.
Now it's 15 minutes.
15 minutes is perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Fast forward, 15 minutes is all good. Oh, if you're feeling precious, you can use a spoon, but just use your hands. That's what go Indian style. Use your hands.
Well, they know very well.
You know, use your hands, scoop it right in. You want to get all of that onto there, and what you want to do is smother them all over, inside and out. And actually, the thing that you really want to try and do, I'm not going to leave any of that there. What you really want to try and do is to get that paste into those grooves. Because if you get it into those grooves, they're going to really take that flavour on much deeper, kind of into the thingy. So there you go. So I'm just going to smother.
And you really can't do this with a spoon.
You can't do this with a spoon. No.
Well, that's the whole idea.
Use your hands, get stuck in, get messy.
And it's so satisfying,
That's
and
really
also
satisfying.
it's
Quite therapeutic.
Yeah, very. So how hot should the oven be?
We are going to have that on 180-degree fan, so quite hot. And actually, they're going to cook for quite a long time because, so sort of, depending on how big your wings are, I say around 40 to 45 minutes. And we're just going to leave them. We don't have to do anything with them, uncovered. And actually, if when they come out, they don't quite have that sort of char that you want, either leave them in there for an extra 5 minutes or whack them under the hot grill, because what you want them to be nicely charred on the outside. Cool, so these have done a magic 3 hours by the magic of television. So we're just gonna put them onto the tray. Now, these, because you've got the tahini, which is sort of quite oily, and you've got the cream, which is quite kind of fatty, I don't drizzle them with oil. You can drizzle them with oil if you like, but they actually don't need it.
Yeah, if they don't need it, why add more extra fat and calories? The
thing I would do though is give them a bit of space, because what you want is for them to have enough space for any steam to escape. Okay.
So not crowded.
Not crowded. So I'm probably, I'm going to maybe put one more on here, but probably no more than that, because that's how you're going to really get that kind of char on there. We're going to put these in the oven. So reminder, it's a 180-degree fan, and we're just going to put them there right in the middle. For 40 to 45 minutes. Check in on them after about 35 minutes, see how they're doing. But yeah, about 40 to 45 minutes. Okay. And just leave them. They're ready. So it's been for about 45 minutes. Can you smell that? Can you smell it? You can smell them. Oh, there you go. Look at that char. So good. So good.
And they look like really meaty, because usually when you make kind of chicken wings, they look like thin little snacks, but these look
really meaty and like, look at that char, look at that bubbling. So good, they smell so good. I'm just gonna shut the oven. Now, we're just gonna put these onto a really nice plate. Okay. They're hot, but I've got asbestos Indian fingers.
Yes, I know, me too.
I think it's a genetic thing. Oh, they smell so good. Final little flourish, just a little bit of freshness. I'm just going to put a little bit of fresh coriander, just because it gives it a nice little earthiness. And just to give you a bit more of a hint of what the main flavour is that's in there with the masala, just a little drizzle of tahini just over the top. And that is my tahini malai wings from Mother Tongue.
Wow, thank you so much. We are going to taste it, guys.
We're definitely going to taste this. I'm going to dive into that one because it looks most charred. Look at that. It's just completely delicious. Look at that. It's really charred, cooked through. It's so good. We're going to eat. Okay, grab one. Grab a big one. Okay, right. And this is like a no cutlery situation. Definitely. Right, cheers.
Cheers.
That's so good.
That is packed with flavor.
What do you think?
You know what? You guys know I love chicken. Oh my god! I've just bitten
That was
into-
good. A flavoury bit. Yeah. It's pretty intense. We can speak, we can talk.
Why?
I know, get silent.
Have to?
Especially those silent videos. Oh, it's so good. It's that like charred masala, tangy.
But there's all sorts. There's a heat, there's tanginess, there's creaminess. You've named it perfect.
Yeah,
That's
tahini
why
malai. That's the tahini malai.
which is I said Malai in your accent. I say Malai, and I just said Malai.
Malai.
These are beautiful, guys. You really, please do give this a go. You know what? I'm going to try this with chicken thighs as
Yeah,
well.
it's really good with thighs as well.
That will be amazing. And don't forget to come back next week for Gurd's chole.
Yes.
You have got to try that.
So try these wings. You must try them. Should we eat more?
Yeah,
Keep going.
yeah, just keep going. Don't stop.
Oh.
Bye, guys. We're gonna
Bye.
continue eating.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Oh my goodness.
Do you like them really?
I absolutely love.
So it's a lot of ingredients, but
But
this is what you get. And the ones you have in the evening are going to be...
oh my god.
You love that masala tahini.
I can just
It's one of my favourite recipes, actually.
so good. Like two greedy pigs.